The murder of Tupac Shakur has long been shrouded in mystery, but recent events are shedding new light and stirring the pot as Dwayne Keefe D. Davis faces an indictment.
Meantime, here, a retired detective talking about the arrest in the Tupac Shakur murder case, and it ties to another rapper's murder. It's our top story here at 5. I'm Denise Valdez.
I'm David Charnes in for Brian tonight. Greg Kading working to solve the murder of the notorious B.I.G., and he actually interviewed Dwayne Davis about his involvement in Shakur's death. Now he's talking to the 8 News Now investigators about what prosecutors and witnesses told the local grand jury leading to Davis's arrest. When did Keefe get on your radar?
Keefe D has always been a name associated with the case just by the very nature of the fact that he's the uncle of Orlando Anderson, who has always been the primary suspect in Tupac's murder.
Big names like Ice-T voiced their perspectives on this significant development. Amidst the drama, Jada Pinkett Smith, a longtime friend of Tupac, offers a poignant hope for closure. The rap scene is abuzz too. Eminem drops hints in his tracks, and Orlando Brown presents a theory so outlandish it's gone viral. Meanwhile, old players like Reggie Wright Jr. and new revelations from Keefe D himself only intensify the debate. And all this comes as Las Vegas prosecutors make a move that could change the narrative of one of hip-hop's most enduring tragedies. Dive with us into this tumultuous journey as we untangle the threads of speculation, confession, and emotion. Alright, let's dive into what Ice-T had to say about this whole Keefe D situation. You remember when Davis got caught up in the Tupac case, right? Well, Ice-T was pretty direct with his thoughts. He said, "My initial thought was people talk too much." He's hinting at those interviews Davis did with DJ Vlad and others. It's like he's wondering why Davis would spill the beans if he didn't want to get in trouble. And Ice-T didn't stop there. He seemed kind of puzzled by how long it took for the arrest to happen. He mentioned, "I think LA knew exactly how this thing played out," and questioned why it took them so long. He had a point saying, "If I say that I'm in a car with somebody that does something, I'm part of the crime." Makes you think, doesn't it? Ice-T looked back at Tupac's tragic death and made it clear he didn't get why Davis talked so much. I mean, Tupac was shot multiple times and died days later, a massive loss for the music world. And according to Ice-T, Davis kind of put himself in the hot seat by repeating over and over in interviews that he was in the car. Ice-T wrapped up his thoughts, predicting a tough future for Davis behind bars, saying he's going to spend the rest of his life in prison all by his own hand. You don't even need anybody to testify. Following Ice-T's sharp insights, another familiar name from Tupac's past steps into the limelight with her reflections. Jada Pinkett Smith, amidst the twists and turns of her own personal journey, took a moment to remember old bonds. She took to Instagram to reminisce about Tupac, sharing, "Now I hope we can get some answers and have some closure." At face value, it's a touching tribute, but fans familiar with Jada's history might wonder about the deeper layers here. Jada's relationship with Tupac goes way back, well before her marriage to Will Smith. They met during their teenage years in Baltimore and even attended the same arts-focused high school. But for those in the loop, there's no forgetting the recent entanglement saga involving Jada and singer August Alsina. The term became a pop culture sensation after Jada and Will discussed it on her Red Table Talk show. Given that backdrop, some fans might be scratching their heads. They've sympathized with Will Smith, feeling he's been put in tough spots by Jada's public revelations. And now, with Jada's tribute to Tupac, they might be wondering how Will's taking it, especially when the memories of the Alsina incident are still fresh. When it comes to Eminem, controversy isn't far behind. His track Kill Shot, primarily aimed at Machine Gun Kelly, also made a bold insinuation. He hinted at P. Diddy's role in Tupac's death with the lyric, "Kill Shot, I will not fail, I'm with the doc still. But this idiot's boss pops pills and tells him he's got skills. But Kells, the day you put out a hit's the day Diddy admits that he put the hit out that got Pac killed." While Eminem and P. Diddy's relationship has generally been friendly in the public's eye, with Eminem often making lighthearted jabs at various celebrities, this line was different. The rap world was ablaze. Jay Electronica, among others, fired back, warning Eminem to tread lightly, saying, "How dare you accuse Diddy of killing Tupac?" But here's where it gets interesting. Eminem's bond with Tupac's legacy runs deep, though the two never met. Tupac's life tragically ended before Eminem's meteoric rise. They are intertwined in the annals of rap history. Eminem holds Tupac in high regard, citing him as a major influence. This respect culminated in 2004 when M produced the posthumous Tupac album, Loyal to the Game, putting a fresh spin on unreleased Tupac vocals. With such reverence for Tupac, that line in Kill Shot carries even more weight. Still, M was quick to clarify at the end of the song that he was just joking about the P. Diddy accusation. It leaves fans torn and the rap community buzzing. Was it just M being his controversial self, or was there more to it? Now, if you thought the rap scene was the only place swirling with Tupac theories, think again. The American rapper and actor Orlando Brown, known for his off-the-wall statements, recently dropped a real head-scratcher. This claim had the internet doing a collective double-take. As the video went viral, the reactions were a mix of disbelief, amusement, and outright confusion. One user on Twitter hilariously commented, "Someone finally cracked the case." Orlando's logic: he believes the authorities aren't going going to arrest Tupac because they'd essentially be arresting Keefe D in Tupac's body. He passionately spoke about the belief that Tupac is still alive, referencing instances like Tupac's hologram appearances. By the end of the interview, Brown left many wondering if this was just another of his eccentric moments, or if there's some deeper meaning we're all missing. Amidst renewed interest in Tupac's case, Reggie Wright Jr., the former head of security for Death Row Records, shed light on his suspicions. Speaking about the renewed police activity surrounding Tupac's unsolved murder, he commented, "I bet Keefe D has been having the runs for the last 2 weeks, hinting that Keefe D might be feeling the heat." Before his recent arrest, Keefe D had not been one to bite his tongue. In a past interview with The Art of Dialogue, he responded to the likes of Reggie saying, "Not that I know of," when asked if he would soon be arrested. He also vented his frustrations with Reggie, saying, "I said I wasn't gonna ever bring his name up again. He did that bullshit phone call, like a tap line or something. This is recorded, and he didn't let me hear the shit. I should sue him." Keefe's disdain for Reggie was undeniable, even jesting at one point. "He act like he want to give me some head or something. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with him. He need to leave me the fuck alone." Yet the shadow of Keefe D's own words from a 2021 interview lingered ominously. Prior to his arrest, he shared, "We just pulled up to the stoplight. They was making a right. There was about 17 cars. We just pulled up in the gutter lane and seen their and that first shot hit Big Boy in the head. The next ones hit Tupac." His candid retelling of that night provided a hauntingly detailed perspective of the events that led to Tupac's demise. Over 25 years have passed since the world lost Tupac Shakur in a tragic drive-by shooting. This event has remained one of hip-hop's most haunting unsolved mysteries, but recent events have reignited interest and speculation. Enter Dwayne Keith Davis, known as Keefe D, a self-professed gang member with a narrative that's difficult to ignore. This isn't the first time he's surfaced in connection with Tupac's murder. In past interviews and even in his memoir, Keefe D has claimed to have been in the white Cadillac that pulled up to Tupac's vehicle on that fateful night in Las Vegas in 1996. As Tupac left a Mike Tyson and Bruce Seldon fight, he was shot 4 times and succumbed to his injuries less than a week later. Recent news broke that a grand jury in Clark County indicted Keefe D on 1 count of murder with the use of a deadly weapon, along with a gang enhancement. As he sits in custody without bail, many wonder if justice for Tupac is finally on the horizon. Keefe D's history of disclosures about that night have been both a boon and a burden for him. His own admissions, whether in his memoir Compton Street Legend or various interviews, painted a vivid picture of gang disputes that escalated on the night of Tupac's murder. According to Keefe D, the beating of his nephew Orlando Anderson by Tupac and his crew at the MGM Grand Hotel provided the ultimate green light for retaliation. Mark DiGiacomo, a chief deputy district attorney in Clark County, shed further light on the case in court, stating that Keefe D was the on-ground, on-site commander who ordered the death of Tupac Shakur. DiGiacomo also highlighted that much of what transpired that night was known as early as 1996. Still, Keefe D's public confessions, including his 2018 television appearance, helped reinvigorate the case. As he said, "They want to put me in jail for life? That's just something I gotta do." Yet, the incident's shadow extends beyond just Keefe D. Many other parties have been suspected, questioned, and debated over the years. Theories, books, podcasts, and films have all tried to unravel the tragic deaths of Tupac, and later, the notorious B.I.G. Both incidents have been etched into hip-hop lore, but the recent developments with Keefe D might bring the world one step closer to understanding what really happened on the night Tupac was taken from it. It's been over a quarter century since Tupac Shakur's untimely death, and yet the impact of this tragedy on the hip-hop world and beyond remains profound. Tupac wasn't just a rapper, he was a poet, an activist, and a voice for a generation. His albums, like Me Against the World and All Eyes on Me, remain iconic, echoing the complexities and contradictions of life. His death, along with that of notorious B.I.G. mere months later, sparked waves of conspiracy theories and accusations against law enforcement for their alleged lack of diligence. Fans and theorists speculated on the roles of East Coast-West Coast rivalries, gang affiliations, and more. But one fact remains undisputed: both murders have remained officially unsolved, turning them into enduring urban legends. The investigations into these deaths have been marked by starts and stops. The Los Angeles Police Department revived the probe into Biggie's death in the mid-2000s, leading to a fresh look at Tupac's killing. Greg Kading, a detective associated with the inquiry, unveiled how investigators persuaded Keefe D to cooperate under a proffer agreement, ensuring that any incriminating statements made by Keefe D wouldn't lead to his prosecution. On the night of Tupac's shooting, the atmosphere was charged. He had been at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, enjoying a boxing match. Later, as he headed to Club 662, a venue backed by by Death Row Records, he was ambushed. According to Keefe D's account, the attack was retaliation for an earlier assault on his nephew Orlando Anderson by Tupac and his crew. Keefe D's recent indictment may finally shed light on what transpired that night. As the case unfolds, it's clear that Tupac's legacy is about more than just music. It's a testament to the enduring impact of his life and the quest for truth about his tragic end. The world of hip-hop is no stranger to controversial figures, but few have left as indelible a mark as Keefe D. With a history intertwined with both the streets and the entertainment industry, Keefe D's story paints a complex picture of the times and tensions surrounding Tupac's death. Keefe D never minced words in his 2019 memoir, Compton Street Legend. In it, he provided a raw account of the gang disputes leading up to the fateful night of Tupac's murder. He depicted the street's strict code, a code by which its participants live, kill, and die by. The aftermath of Tupac's death saw a surge in police activity. Over 20 individuals were arrested in connection with shootings that were suspected to be linked to gang vendettas. But as the years rolled on without any concrete charges, skepticism grew. The deaths of Tupac and Notorious B.I.G. became fodder for conspiracy theories, with accusations flying that the police hadn't done enough to deliver justice. But it wasn't just the world of entertainment that held its breath. The streets watched, waited, and whispered. In the face of the growing media storm, Keefe D's admissions, both in his book and public interviews, became all the more significant. Discussing the events surrounding Tupac's death, he wrote, "Tupac chose the wrong game to play, as Keefe D now faces legal consequences for his alleged role in Tupac's murder. It remains to be seen how the intertwined worlds of street culture, the entertainment industry, and the legal system will react."